Watch collecting is a little bit more complex than we think it to be. It's actually much more than just gathering pieces. It's also taking care of them. Whether it's a $300 Tissot or a multiple $1,000 Rolex, you have to take care of your watches at some point. And of course, nobody appreciates that more than a watch pirate. I mean, like, okay, I know people are asking, what's a watch pirate? I mean, you're definitely not a watch pirate, Jason. It's like, um, I'm definitely not rugged looking. I don't wear a hat all the time, nor an eye patch. And who's going to think that this wimpy Asian guy would be a pirate of any sense? Well, all you need to see is like my teeth, and then I think you would get the point. But nevertheless, a watch pirate always treasures his watches, and that's a. I think this Mirage travel roll. Can we even say that it's a travel roll, guys? Okay. Well, actually, in their website they say it's a Mirage jewelry and watch box.
No matter what you call it, these travel cases are fast becoming an essential with watch enthusiasts. As he grows his collection, more and more instances may require him to bring along more than one watch on his travels. That idea demands a case that is equal parts robust and delicate. Mirage specializes in these travel cases that are both durable and quite luxurious to carry around. This leather obsidian version features some fine stitching and carefully pleasing curves that can only be achieved using the handcrafted way. This gives the case a little more personality than your typical mass-produced counterparts. Tipping the tape at around 5 inches, there's more than enough room to store your precious watches while remaining compact as you carry it with you along with your travels. The leather outer skin also ensures that there's care considered for the other stuff you're carrying around in your bag. The hardware is solid and carefully matched to the color of the leather. The other materials used inside this roll are also very nice to the touch and certainly soft for your watches. As always, these kinds of fabric are magnets for dust and specks, so you'll need to exercise some OCD restraint here. The padded pillow makes for a very comfortable fit for your collection. There's enough contraction here for smaller wrists like mine, so there's room for you to close your bracelets when storing them inside. Some word of caution, of course. Being able to use this pillow in this way doesn't mean that you have to do it all the time. When steel bracelets are in constant force of pulling away from each other, there's a tendency to loosen your bracelet links. We've come a long way with how we build our pins and chains, but the best fit always wins out a tight enclosure every time. Well, maybe not every time, but you know what I mean. As you drop this inside the case, you'll notice that it's a rather deep dive for your pillow and watch. That's all the more ensuring that you have all of the room needed for your watch to be secure. This also means that even if you don't close your bracelet on the pillow, it's very likely that it will still fit inside the compartment. This is purposefully designed to ensure that even larger wristed people will be able to enjoy using this travel roll to their heart's content. The whole compartment is lined with this same fabric material as your watch is surrounded with this protection and comfort. And with the cushioned cover, the whole enclosure will then surround your watch from the bracelet underneath to the crystal on top. The watches are also safe against each other as the compartments are separated by a thick lined separator. You're now ready to toss this around as you worry more about your in-flight mojito than the power reserve of your timepiece. As you open it up, well, you shouldn't be surprised as your watches are exactly the way you left it inside this travel case. And yes, I wrote that as part of the script. What also makes this a lot more useful is the closed compartment on the lid. This is the jewelry part of the case where you could store some of your smaller valuables. But the insufferable pirate that I am, though, tried to stash a minibar whiskey inside this thing, but unfortunately it did not fit. Happily, my favorite straps from Artem will make it in this case and will be more than a welcome alternative to the minibar staple. You can likely store 2 to 3 straps inside, so you should be covered for that 5-night getaway. As you close this upper lid, it will hold shut despite not having any fastening features. There are some instances that it did blew open on me, so your mileage may vary. Hopefully, Mirage will work on that in the future. There's a lot of use for this travel case that even if you're traveling to a remote desert island surrounded by hostile animals and indigenous people, or simply traveling to Manila, you can even take with you something ginormous such as this mudman from GShock. As ridiculous as it looks, seeing a watch that could likely survive more than the case itself, well, you can still make this dream a reality if you wanted to with this Mirage watch and jewelry travel case. It's a great watch case that offers the protection and looks luxurious for its value.
And it's a good size for a watch pirate who's on the go. And compared to their other uh, stuff like this Mirage 6 roll case, it's a little heavy and it's very cumbersome to bring down each and every time. Not to mention the logic of having to bring 6 watches at some point. I don't know why would you bring or travel with 6 watches, but it's also not too big like a treasure chest. So I think this 2 roll configuration is the perfect size. Of course, it's a little bit rugged, and that ruggedness plays a key role because you have to keep in mind as a watch pirate, you also have to consider all of your relationships, especially with your watch pirate wife. Now, watch pirate wives are notorious for, throwing stuff at you. It may not seem intentional, but I can't really say it's actually accidental at the same time. So whenever they inevitably hurl this to you, it's soft enough for you not to get hurt. But it's rugged enough for the watches not to be damaged inside. You can actually try that on and see it's still working. Now, when you're buying these, you have to consider also, of course, the price because sometimes these tend to be a little bit more expensive. And Mirage, how much is this Mirage thing? I don't even know. And this Mirage is not exactly the cheapest or the most affordable, but it is still considerably affordable compared to other travel walls. At the same time, it's a little bit more premium compared to other travel walls. I left this under the sun for quite a while, tested out, and it seems to work still. It didn't peel off or it didn't disintegrate in the hot Aruban sun. I can assure you this Mirage case will actually take care of your watches. Well, I keep flip-flopping whether to call it a travel roll or the case or a travel case. So would I recommend this watch and jewelry box? Yes, of course, I would be recommending this. I'm actually traveling with this to meet up with Dane soon enough. And probably, I don't know, maybe by the time that you see this video, you would have seen me with Dane with this watch box. The only thing is, like, it is a little bit big for you to stash inside your backpack, so you have to keep that in mind as well. But hey, it's not too big for you to not have it with you in your suitcase or in your backpack. And it has the right amount of watch that you need. Just bring a watch that you could change and swap bands, and you could easily have a different watch or a different configuration. I think the most useful way that I've used this Mirage watch and jewelry box is to stash it right beside my door because it's black and I have most of my appliances are black, so it carefully blends into the furniture, and it's easy enough so that when there's a delivery that comes in and then my wife doesn't know that there's a delivery coming in, I can easily just grab this small box, put the watches in there, and she doesn't know the difference. And she might even not realize that jewelry box or jewelry watch box actually moved. And the good thing about that is that since it's so small, you could just literally take it with you as you commute to the office. So when she notices something, you could easily run away with it and buy you some time so that you can come up with an appropriate excuse. this jewelry and watch box from Mirage, the most important thing that this Mirage, um, so what can you say? I think the most useful thing that this Mirage, what,